Ms. Legalista here. Welcome to the video. I want to talk about the Alexa Bliss scam. I've heard it come up a few times now. This person's name was being used so that people think, hey, I'm helping her out. They send money thinking that this money is going to Alexa Bliss. When I pull it up on Google, just to give you sort of an overview, this is what it says. The Alexa Bliss scam is a scheme where a con artist impersonates WWE star Alexa Bliss to trick people into sending money. The scammer may claim to be hospitalized for a menstrual issue and ask for money to treat her. The scammer may also send gifts to the victim, such as trinkets or pizza. In one instance, an elderly man gave $1 million to the scammer. There was a New York Times article a while back that talked about a man, I think he had lost his wife, he retired, he was no longer working, he was older, alone during the pandemic where, we were all sort of housebound. And during that time, he was one of those people that came a little bit more susceptible to this type of scam, almost less of a typical romance scam and more of an attention and companionship scam because they're feeling lonely and they want to have a relationship with someone, not necessarily a sexual relationship or an intimate relationship, but something that's close and personal. And they feel like, hey, this is a person I can now have a connection with because I'm doing something that's important for this other person. And now it brings meaning to my life, especially if I don't really have close family around anymore. If my spouse has passed, if my friends have already passed because I'm older now and I don't get out as much. This brings meaning to them. They don't want to give it up. They don't want to think that, hey, it's not real. And so they indulge and give into it because the benefits that they receive themselves means a lot to them. It means a lot to them. So let me open this up so that you can actually see what is going on here. All right, so this is what I was just talking about. The Alexa Bliss scam is a scheme where a con artist impersonates WWE star Alexa Bliss to trick people into sending money. The scammer may ask about, may say that it's related to a menstrual issue, may send trinkets or pizza to the victim. And as you can see, there was a large amount of money that was given. So I actually want to go to this article here, Cage Side Seats, and pull that up and have us talk about that. Yes, there we go. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Alexa Bliss imposter scams elderly man out of $1 million. So this is the one that I was speaking of before. And this article had run in the New York Times. And let's scroll down a little bit so we can see what was going on. He was 79 years old. He was conned out of $1 million, including his granddaughter's college fund, by the fake Bliss and others. The story states that Mancinelli thought he was in a romantic relationship with the former women's champion. When his son Chris tried moving his father's last $100,000 to a safe account, his father sued him. There was nothing we could do to convince him. Look, people don't want to let go of this world that they have built that says they now have some meaning to their lives. They now have this companionship, this new relationship. They don't want to let go of it. And look at how far he was willing to go. He was willing to sue his own son. Earlier this year, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce issued a message to fans on X regarding such hoaxes. He said, if you have given money online to the likes of, and he names them, I feel for you. I'm sorry that you got duped, but I can't help. Whatever job duties you believe I have, police work isn't one of them. Don't give strangers to money online. This has been an APPSA. Look, people are sharing this sort of information where these people are using celebrities and personalities out there. And you guys, this ad is popping up because I watched this show. And yes, I'm ready for it to come back out. Okay. I'm ready for it to come back out. Yeah. So let's look here. And the Internet Crime Complaint Center is where you need to go to file these complaints. But yes, they're using celebrities and well-known figures and using these this sort of idea that you can connect with them. Because most of the time it's like, well, who thinks that they can connect with some of these people? And yet, hey, if you're the person who's able to do that, who's going to want to give that up? Who's going to want to give that up at a time when they may not have a lot of love in their life? According to the Times piece, okay, he was vulnerable. Let's look at why this person was vulnerable. It says he had suffered several personal tragedies, which left him vulnerable to a series of online scams. Following an early retirement, okay, so at that point, think about that. The purpose, the reason for getting up in the morning and going somewhere, that's no longer there anymore. Normally you wake up, you go to work, you put in your contribution. Yes, you get paid for it, but there is some worth. There's a feeling of value there. And now you've taken early retirement. And what do you have to feel valuable about? Where is your worth? How are you contributing? Well, this is gone. This is gone. He became increasingly isolated, leading to substantial financial losses due to scammers, most of which were linked to the phony Bliss. The fraudster referenced former WWE CEO, claiming he had humiliated her after she rejected his advances. The fake Bliss also claimed to be hospitalized for severe menstrual issues and asked for money to cover treatment. Why would she be doing that? But let's talk about this for a second. The vulnerabilities, the lack of worth that's no longer there because there's no job that gives you value, that gives you meaning, so that you wake up and get up in the morning and get dressed and make yourself presentable, take care of yourself. Sometimes when people don't have that anymore, they don't, feel this need to get up and get dressed. The hygiene piece gets dropped because they're just like, well, I'm not going anywhere, so why do I need to shower? Why do I need to bathe and be clean? Why do I need to do my hair? Why do I need to shave? Why do I need to put on deodorant? Your self-value and worth really shouldn't come from your job anyway. But a lot of times that's where it comes from if that's all you've been doing for 35, 40 years. If that's all you've been doing. If you have given your job your life and now your job is gone, you can feel very lonely and very isolated when you retire early. And you still have your health and you still want to contribute and you still want to do things. And now you can't, or now you don't have that. So when these scammers step in, you're ready to go. You're ready. You're ready to believe it, even though deep down you have some hesitation. Your common sense and your gut instinct is telling you, don't do this. Don't do this. In this case, he had a family member or a son who was trying to look out for him. And he needed this so badly that he was willing to hurt the relationship with his son. So this should really give you some insight into how much a person is suffering when they are alone and isolated, that they are willing to go to this type of length in order to protect that relationship that they have with the scammer, even though the scammer is trying to harm them and do them wrong. They so need that human relationship that they will put it all on the line. So understand, part of this has to be about, how do I keep my family members close? How do I keep my family members safe? Because it's going to be a struggle when they feel like, their lack of value and lack of worth is gone and they don't really have anybody close to them. So look out for your family members, look out for your friends, look out for those people who are close to you, who may be in vulnerable positions because of transitions, changes that they've gone through in the last few years. A lot of times we don't recognize that people may be having this internal trauma that's going on because they don't share it and they don't feel like they want to burden other people with it. And it's personal. They don't want to tell anybody. So they keep it inside. And then when this opportunity comes along to really connect with somebody else and be of value again, they hold on to it and they don't want to let go. So we got to work with our family and friends, those who are in these sorts of positions, to try to help them understand what's going on and to help them understand that you're there for them, not to take you know this need away, this desire, this worth, all of that away, but to say, hey, let's get back on track with some other organizations and other work that you can do that can help fill in some of those gaps. So if you're going to take this away from them, then try to have something else to offer them. And this may be why, I don't know, this may be why the father fought back against the son so hard. Because if you were going to take that away from him, what was he going to have? All right, this is very tragic, very sad to hear. But we have to talk about these kinds of instances so that we can have a better understanding of what is going on, what to look out for. All right. Yeah, another sad story. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Peace.